What do you remember about the day you met Lonzo?
Oh man, so when I first met Lonzo, it was actually on the phone. I called, so I was just getting into rapping, and I called up. I went through the yellow pages, and the first studio on there was Audio Achievements. So I called up Audio Achievements. Don is
Smart.
yeah, and so he gave me Lonzo's number. Said Lonzo's got a studio. He said, "You ever heard of the World Pass Record Crew?" I said, "Oh yeah, yeah." He said, "Well, that's them." Oh, okay. So I called up Lonzo, and he was like, "Yeah, come on, man. You want to do the I think it was like 25 an hour, 35 if you want to use the emulator, right?" And I was like, "Okay, cool, cool, right?" So I think I finally made it over there, but it might have been right after all that stuff happened with turn off lights and all that. But yeah, man, the one thing I remember is that, Lonzo was just kind of open door, right? Come on in, man. Learn how to use this mixing board, learn how to use, the equipment here. And he would just go back into the house and let us just, experiment and mess around. I thought that was awesome, man. So, and I realized in retrospect, I think Lonzo was just trying to keep kids out of trouble. Knowing him now, right? I think that might have been part of what was going on in his mind back then. Was like, look, if as many kids I can keep out of trouble, the world will be better for it.
Yeah, so, yeah. Because I never met your dad, did I?
Nah, man, no. Because I think by the time that all that went down, my parents divorced. My dad's still around, but it's just he's always working, and he ended up moving back out to Altadena back then. So yeah, so he wasn't around much. But you know what, man? I kind of made a dad out of a lot of guys, man, like yourself and Booker.
Right.
Folks, man, I've known through the years that I look at them and the qualities I admire. I'm like, man, I'm gonna adopt that right into my life. And so yeah, I'm really appreciative of that. And my dad is one of those people too as well. So I'm not putting shade on him at all.
Now what's funny, man, is that and I say this all the time. I didn't realize this until later in life, man, that most of the guys that came around my house, I never met their dads. I didn't know none of them. I don't know nobody. I don't know CMW, Unchill's dad. Don't know. I knew of Dre's dad. Never met Yella's dad. Never met Clientele's dad. Never met Shakespeare's dad. I knew Cube had a dad. Never met him. Knew his mom. Met his mom. Never met the dads. So people, it didn't dawn on me at that time that so many cats was, and I ain't gonna say fatherless, but just didn't have that male role model up close and personal. And for a lot of guys, now that they grown men, they tell me about that. Man, if it wasn't for you, I'd have did this, I'd have did that. And I was like, what? I never thought of it like that. So it's just amazing, man. I'm glad to see you doing your thing. I'm proud of you, Doc, because you've always been one of them cats that I felt comfortable going to. And I'm glad y'all wasn't a bunch of thieves, because y'all could have moved me out a long time ago.
Right on, brother.
So, that was one of them things. I've always been blessed. Like Battlecat said the same thing, man. Lonzo just let me in the studio and walked in the house, and wasn't no cameras back here then, just I laid the rules down and everybody abided by it. It was a different group of youngsters back then, though, man. It was, they had home training. Not saying these guys don't, but it was a different kind of home training, Even with the moms didn't take no shit from the kids. The kids wasn't running out, the mama running this, okay? If I say no, it's no. And that, and all I had to do was lay my rules out and everybody abided by them. I never had no fights here, never had no shootings. They got in, Eight and Chill got into it one time to take that bullshit someplace else. All right, Lonzo. And they stopped in their tracks. Both of them will tell you the same thing. And that's just how I ran my house, man. I still run it the same way. So it is what it is.
Yeah, there was never no drama around there whenever I was there.
And I let them drink. Nobody really smoked weed back then, though, man. Nobody smoked weed back then. Weed was not even a factor back then. I think about that now. I think about how many times I took my trash cans out and it sounded like a bottle just rattling in the can. I mean, 40 ounces up the yang yang, okay? It wasn't out of Hennessy. It was always beer, okay? Always beer. And I was throwing away dozens of, I wasn't into recycling at all. I was throwing away dozens and dozens of 40-ounce bottles. And that's what they did, It was a different crew. Nobody, like I said, I didn't see no weed, man, until the last past 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yes, it is crazy, Doc. It is.
Yeah, I remember the first time I went into your studio, Mike T was there, and you were like, "Yeah, hey, Mike T's gonna show you how to use everything, right?" And he was holding a 40 and programming the SP 1200.
See, that's how they did it. It was
Yeah,
different.
that's what it was.
Different era, Doc. Everybody drank. Well, Willie Mo, thank you for the NFT update. Willie Mo also was a co-host of one of my shows, man. Music in the Hood. He said with me quite a few. I gotta find those tapes on my channel. As soon as I find them, man, I'm gonna post them up. Because how many shows? We did about 10, 12 shows together.
About that many, yeah.
I'm gonna pull them up so they'll see what you look like. All right.
Right on, man.
Much love, Doc. Thank you for calling me to answer the phone, man.
All right, brothers. Keep up the good work.
Peace,
right.
Willie Mo. Hey, while we were talking with Willie Mo, STEM Radio sent a $10 donation. Thank you so much, and I encourage everybody to check out his channel. I'm about to hit subscribe right now on YouTube, the STEM Radio. He says you guys need to talk about these young rappers who have no tangible product. They've never moved any units or anything, but yet they think they're entitled to airplay and podcast interviews. Boy, oh boy, we could be here all day with my stories of the people I run into who are entitled and think you should pay them for an interview. I'm like, what? Well, what are your experiences and thoughts on that, Lonzo?
You know, first of all, I don't have a lot of that. I don't get a lot of that. I get a little bit, but I don't get a lot of that. My whole platform is pretty much built around old school, so most folks don't even give me that kind of issue. If I take on the youngsters, because I like them. Okay, I'm not paying you to be on my show when I can get somebody that got a name for free. Okay, that makes no sense to me. I've been paid to be on shows because I got a name and I'm gonna bring some viewers with me. But like I tell guys all the time, even when I had the club, man, why would I want to pay you if you can't draw flies if I put honey on your ass? Okay? You can't draw flies if I dipped your whole body in honey. Okay? So why would I give you any money? Oh man, I got to get, no. Okay, well, fine. Don't worry about it. And I'm doing you a favor by giving you exposure. And oh man, I got exposure. Yeah, you exposed in your block. That's it. Nobody outside your neighborhood knows who the hell you are, okay? And the only reason why you would be considered a rapper if you got shot because you uploaded a song to Spotify. That was your only qualifications for being a rapper. If somebody shot your ass right now, you would barely qualify to be labeled as a rapper because you got one song on Spotify. You're the rapper, and that's how they do it. I mean, so many of these guys that have been shot, man, I don't know none of these people, man. Most people don't know them. They got a song on Spotify. They got some chains, and they got whatever hip hop regalia. Oh, rapper got shot. Nobody knows this son bitch. Just ain't Biggie or Tupac. This little nutsack. Nobody know little nutsack. This little nutsack ain't got no followers. Okay, he ain't got no followers. He ain't got no Harry followers. That's my line. Little nutsack. Okay,
little nutsack.
You watch. I got 42 viewers right now. Somebody's gonna come out as little nutsack. You watch.
I bet you there's either a little nutsack out there, or there's something similar to that. Because have you heard some of these rapper names, dude? Like I heard like little lunchbox and like little pizza ball. I'm like, what the hell? What?
Yeah.
Little nutsack. That should be a character. You need to do a bit on that. We need to write some little nutsack clips, little bits.
We should do that. Okay.
I'm gonna play around behind the scenes. Do you remember John London in the house party?
Oh yeah.
Remember they got in trouble for was it Little Crackhead?
Little Crackhead.
Yeah. Okay.
Mayor Compton got on. He went on the radio and talked about their ass. Okay. He called in first. Then I remember the whole situation.
Tell everybody, John Lennon in the house party was 92.3 morning radio show, very popular.
Fish grease. They was blowing up. They had some of the funniest shit on the radio at that time. They had this one skit they did every morning, or almost every morning, called Little Crackhead. It was, he look. Back then, crack babies was very prominent, and I guess this one had grown up and he was stealing and doing all kind of crazy shit. And Omar Bradley, like, oh man, that ain't working, dude. White man, you can't call no babies crack babies and make fun of that shit. That's just not funny. And they pulled that shit real quick. That's the only thing. That's the only bad thing about celestial radio. If you don't have a connect at the radio station, you can't get copies of that stuff. That stuff, a lot of it, once it was done, it was done.
Yeah, yeah. They pay you a big salary, so you don't own the stuff. It's one or the other.
Right. We did a song for Greg Mack called "Fireplace for Christmas." That was a badass song too. And me and Greg both talked about that. It's on YouTube, but it's a fucked up, old fucked up cassette copy. But the fireplace was the shit. We made it for Christmas, and once it's gone, it's gone. And back then they had those cheap carts, and they didn't last that long, so it probably got tossed out when they got new tape. But yeah, Doc, it's different vibe, man. John London and the house party. Even Russ Parr has some good